And it's also a way for us to always think about, are these the right areas? Every year we as a staff and as a board sit down and we say, are these the areas that need to be addressed? And they really do all interlap and overlap together. Womenomics, which just came out and we did a CMC, is a great way for us to get a pulse on the community, but we also had someone from Goldman Sachs, Katie Koch, Goldman Sachs UK, came last fall, and she had been tasked by Goldman Sachs to figure out what will have the biggest GDP growth in the next decade. And she said investing in women and girls. And she said that after doing a lot of research and her team looking at it, and we can't pay her to do that. And so it was a great way for us to go out with the YWCA, host a lunch, bring Katie in, and talk about how that does affect the whole community. Women give back 90% of their incomes. They reinvest it. And so it's important to make sure that they're sustaining. Like I said, we do a lot of programs and partnerships. This fall, we have a really big lineup that all ties in some way, shape, or form to economic self-sufficiency, but also to gender lens. We are bringing someone in to talk about gender norming, which is another kind of word where it's like, what does she mean by that? And it's talking about the expectations we put on our children, whether it's just the pink and blue before they're even born, and what we're saying as a society. So stay tuned for that in September. We're also hoping to bring another fall film. We've brought Misrepresentation in the past, branded, and also Girl Rising. We partnered with Columbus City Schools and Columbus School for Girls last year. Our other community partnerships, we do things with the Barbara Fergus Lecture Series every year. And last year, my favorite day was I got to go to prison, which my mom loved that was my favorite day. I was like, I just want to live there. But the prison, the Ohio Reformatory for Women, has a great tapestry program that works with women to reinvest themselves in the community, but also it's a drug-based program, drug-related offenses. And when we walked into this prison, first of all, I've never had a standing ovation in my life, but these women stood up, they applauded us, they were so happy to see us, and we just sat and ate dinner with them and talked with them. And then David Brown at the Harmony Project, too, if you've heard of him, he kind of just makes magic happen with song. He had them all sing to us, and it was just, we served them, we sat with them, and it was probably my favorite night of the year. So hoping to go back to prison more, but it's a great way to look at conversations and have them with everybody across the spectrum, and that's something we're trying to do at the Women's Funds. We also have worked with the YWCA. I said we love to partner with them because they're very like-minded. And we do conversations with pretty much anyone in the community who comes forward, and we can see an overlap. And that's why this fall we will have a very strong lineup. We're starting to have to learn to say no because more people want to partner, but it's a great problem to have. And we are a fundraising organization. So our 75% are individual donors. We also have a lot of sponsors, and we have advocates who pay $1,000 for our big event, and they come and they get to meet the guest afterwards. And this year we had a record-breaking, over 100 people were advocates, and we sold out the Ohio Theater with Ashley Judd. And so our big fundraiser is key holder. So I still have Ashley Judd's face decoupaged around my cue because we had a lot of those. But in the past we've also brought Diane Keaton, Whoopi, America Ferrera, and Goldie Hawn. And it's kind of our evening to do a little bit of a bait and switch. We brand this whole big celebrity guest and we say, come join us, we're going to talk about women and girls. Until last year with America Ferrera, we didn't really say what we were talking about in advance, but you knew it would have something to do with women's advocacy. And then we had this great opportunity to bring America Ferrera and talk about the book and the movement Half the Sky. And it was probably one of our most powerful conversations because America, along with Cheryl Wu Dunn, the author of Half the Sky, sat on stage, and it was kind of like The View. They just sat there and had a conversation with our interviewer, and it wasn't a keynote. And then this year, when we thought of bringing Ashley Judd, she also had a book that talked about the global movements of women and girls, and so we branded her as a change agent. And so next year, it'll be in 2015 in May. I can't tell you who it is yet, but it is a woman. Tell you that much. We'll be bringing someone else to have that conversation. And like I said, it's a great way to get to know the fund. We sell out at 2,500 people, and it's $50 for a general ticket, but it's a great community conversation where people feel like they're a part of what we're doing. And if you want to feel like a part of what we're doing every day, all these roads lead to me. So I am the communications person. I'm on all these platforms, and we're happy to talk to you about anything. So that's the Women's Fund. Any questions?